Uh, I don't know what all this stuff is, man. I am really sorry to say that, but let's do hobbies and oh, look at this Signature Series Pits S2B, 60-inch wingspan, and you know it's kind of it's kind of tough. You got a Dave Platt and you got a Dave Patrick, and as an old man, I get them names mixed up, even though I know who's who in the zoo. And yeah, Dave Platt's Mr. Scale, and Dave Patrick, he built some of and designed some of the finest RC airplanes that were ever out there. Around 2008, somewhere in that neighborhood in Junction, Surmark bought out Dave and or Dave Patrick Models anyway, and there was a lull there between 2006 2008 where business, I don't know, I guess they were trying to do a transition or something. I don't know exactly what was going on there. Somewhere in all of that, uh, Sir Mark picked these things up and started putting these things out. Now, I have personally never seen an almost ready to cover Sir Mark kit. They always came covered. Everything that I ever had. Matter of fact, I bought a blue one and a red one, and a guy reached out to me. This was years ago. He says, I think I had I think it was the red one that I had, and I'd sold the blue one. And a guy called me up and says, man, I'd like to buy that plane from you. I'd like to buy that Pitts. And I was like, well, I'd like to sell it to you. He says, yeah, I hadn't got to fly one in a long time. And he says, I said, no, this is a Surmark. It's not the original. I said, but they're not bad planes. He goes, well, yeah. He goes, I designed that plane, and that's when I knew who I was talking to, Mr. Dave Patrick himself. And anyway, so we got him the plane. He was happy with it, and that's kind of like my brush with greatness with Mr. Patrick. But anyway, I was digging around in the attic. A man passed away, and he was really into biplanes, and this is one I picked up. Now, this one's got some caveats, or a caveat anyway. Besides the fact it doesn't have any covering on it, but that can be a good thing, especially with a Surmark. Surmark made some changes to the manufacturing, and I don't really think that it was as strong as the original Patrick models. So this not being covered, kind of a godsend, because this gives you an opportunity to go in and put some extra bracing and things of that nature in certain areas where you feel it would be necessary. Um, and I've looked at I've looked at this airframe some, and by far, I'm not uh, the guru of biplane builds. That goes without saying. However, I would probably beef up the firewall a little bit if I was going to hang a real big motor on it. The beautiful thing about motors from now to then, let's see what they called for this thing. This one powered with a 90 to a 120 two-stroke or four-stroke. So a 92 stroke or a 124 stroke. Can be modified for a 23 gas size engine. Come on. It is designed and set up, for the regular nitro mounts. I'll show you that here in just a minute. Now, first off, I want to get to the problems. I want to show you them right off the bat. This happened all before I got it. It is what it is. There was it's got an indentation right here in the canopy. It's a little dent. It's got like a little crease in it, man. So You could probably pop most of it out, but I don't think it's all going to come out. And I guess it happened in shipping or something like that. And if you'll notice right here, this balsa's kind of breaking away, and over on the other side, let me get my gimbal to gimbal here. I've got it on slow, so because I'm moving and jerky. You see this is starting to split. A phone call in the middle of a video, and ain't that something? So, with that being said, this balsa here, it would behoove you to resheet it. Simple deal, you know, a couple hours. But at the same time, you'll have this thing all apart, and you can put your supports in it. You can put your servos exactly where you want them. You know, the whole Nickelodeon. Now, I am not 100% sure, but I want to say that there are quite a few, what would it be? Either a cap or an extra canopies that you can get, and I'll look and see if I can find a replacement, a location to where you can get a canopy that'll fit this. It's pretty common looking deal, as most of them are. So I'm going to shut this thing off, and I'm going to go grab another box because this comes in two. And I'll show you what we got over there. Let me show you this here real quick before I do the other one. This is a fiberglass, and it's not a real flimsy one either. This one is a nice heavy fiberglass cowl, done in red gel, obviously. And I guess because of the 90 and 120 is the reason why this firewall is not built up more than, you know, or built up like I'm used to seeing. It's built well, don't get me wrong, but you know, guys, we're going to mount back here. We're not going to mount here. And so this here would have to come off, and then what I would do is I would close all this in and box in here. Once that's done, with maybe a couple of stringers running back to the CG area, that thing would be golden. It would be something else. You know, you'd be able to beat your ex-wife over the head with it, and it probably wouldn't come apart. Well, let's see here. I guess I can do this while if I can get this dadgum thing to turn a little bit. There we go. That's a lot better. Now, here are the wing struts. Still stilled in the package. It also comes with the JTech gauges, the whole package of them, and it's got the blisters in there too. If you can kind of see that the little blisters that go over the top of them. And what do we got here? These are gauges, is what these are. Different gauges that you can put in there. That's the actual. So I guess these with the other stickers, and then it's got the flying wire kit, man, for the tail, and I guess that's a pull as well, or that's just a tail brace kit. Let me see here. Yep, just tail brace. Let's see what else it got in it. Got one of these. We all know what that's for. What else is in here? Okay, so it's got a aluminum spinner, looks like 3 1/4-ish. The quick fit to go through the fuse. What else is that in there? Easy action wheel brakes. There's some wheel brakes in there. And let's see, the blind nuts, the wheels. Man, this thing's like Christmas, just gifts keep on coming. Hardware pack, there's a rear wheel, there's some Velcro, there's some Looks like some control horns. And these are plastic. I'd probably go aluminum on this one personally. I guess it comes with age, though. You know, you over-engineer everything. Oh, and look at this cute little thing here. A little carbon fiber tail wheel. I like that. And let's see what else we can find. Some other stuff in here too. Ad blurbs. More ad blurbs. Did we exhaust everything? Yeah, I think that's it. Okay, well, I'll be back here in just a minute. Okay, man, let's see if this thing will act a little bit better now. Okay, so now this is a labeled box. This is a factory box. Now, it's got some foam pieces here, and then here are your tail pieces, all your tail feathers. Just almost can't make it around all the way over there. Come here, rudder. And there is the bottom wing. And there's the top one. So there you have it. 60-inch beautiful Pitts S2B with a little hurdle to jump. But the thing is, you can do this thing in any color you want. You can do anything you want with it. And you can cover it in cloth. You can do it in ultra coat. You can do it in aura coat. You can do it in any coat you want. Effectively, you could seal the wings and even glass it. It's going to make somebody a beautiful plane. And you can make this thing 100% yours. Because you can do it the way you want to get it done. If you got any questions, give us a call. Got to know Joe Hobbies here in Spring, Texas. And see that dead gum. That's just a shame that happened. But I'm going to do everything I can to see if we can find a replacement. You know, if it wasn't for the Ultimate Man, it was a little bit longer. This one here a little shorter. And the biplane I like, the one I'm more partial to is the Toot. Big Toot and little Toot. I really like the little Toot, that little single seater. Boy, that thing is just sexy, and it's built so well. And they made kits for those for a little while. I don't think that they'll ever do it again. I'm gonna work on Tommy and see if we can, Mr. Meyer, see if we can talk him into it, because I've seen those planes and they are absolutely gorgeous. I had actually had one here for a little while, but if I couldn't have a Toot, I'd want this one here. And you know what? Here it is. And there's the gear. Got to know Joe Hobby, Spring, Texas. Give us a call.